Good evening and many thanks for joining us this the third day of June the year 2025. Indeed, it's a day that a lot is happening in the country and across the border. Talk about cases to do with abduction and the violation of human rights as the case or rather the incident that happened that happened to Kenyan activist and his Ugandan counterpart continue to elicit mixed reaction across the country and of course beyond the borders. And away from that, it's a day that we have witnessed another drama that ensued in our corridors of justice when Trans Nzoia Governor George Natembea's allied were arrested in connection with distractions that were witnessed a few weeks ago in line with the arrest of Trans Nzoia Governor George Natembea in a case that he has been entangled about the corruption allegations leveled against him. But don't forget, in our State of the Nation tonight, we focus on the state of economy. For the better part of this month, we'll be talking about matters economy and of course finance and budget. And this is what we know. The budget is 4.2 trillion. Out of this, we have the winners and the losers. And tonight we want to focus on the biggest beneficiaries and of course the biggest losers of this proposed budget estimate for the finance year 2025-2026. Now, the education sector has received the highest allocation in the national government's budget estimate for the financial year 2025-2026. According to the analysis by the Parliamentary Budget Office, the sector will account for 28.1% of the total budget, translating to 701.1 billion shillings. This is significant allocation is intended to support schools capitation across the country. Remember, this is the ongoing issue about the ever cases of school capitation where many schools have been lamenting about capitations that has made learning institution to carry out the operation to almost and halt in this process. And this and primary schools and of course the primary and secondary schools, which will be very important when it comes to now funding the operations of the institution of higher learning and of course the primary level and even the tertiary and the university institution. It will also cater for the remuneration of teachers, instructors and lecturers, as well as the development and expansion of educational infrastructure. Another sector that has ripped big in this is the healthcare docket, with a budget estimate of 136.8 billion in the financial year 2025 budget estimate. These funds will be channeled in the key critical sectors such as the National Referral and Specialized Services, which has been allocated 54 billion, while 16.8 billion will be channeled to reproductive, maternal, newborn and child adolescents health, and 13 billion for primary health care fund, and additional 10 billion has been set aside for emergency, chronic and critical illness fund. KEMSA will receive 5 billion, while Kenya Medical Training College, or if you prefer the acronym KMTC, will receive 8.8 billion, and 4 billion has been allocated to support the implementation of the Universal Health Coverage UHC. Now, those are part of the winners in this estimated budget. Now, let's take a look at the losers. The 2025 budget has seen key sectors receiving a significant budget cut, with others gutted systematically, and the executive is the biggest casualties of this year's budget cut, with its budget slashed to 2.428 trillion, which is a reduction of 18.8 billion from the previous budget. Parliament has seen its budget also reduced for financial year 2025-2026 by 7 billion. Judiciary too has not been spared either, Its budget estimate chopped to 26.7 billion, a slight reduction of 87 million from the previous budget. While this is now the winners and the losers of this estimated budget for the finance year 2025-2026. And of course, remember on Thursday next week, Treasury CS John Badi will be heading to Parliament to read this budget, the 4.2 trillion budget, and of course with key allocations. Remember, it is important to note that some sectors have been gutted systematically with no allocation whatsoever for this financial year 2025, with new emerging sectors also being allocated funds to actually boost the economic growth in line with what is many will call the Kenya Kwanza Vision Plan. And other emerging sectors like the Kenya Meat Commission, we have the aviation industry, which has been allocated some funds in regard to this, which in the previous year, such budget was out of reach. So better part of this discussion is all about finance bill. The finance bill, which is a document that will fund the financial year, the budget for the finance year 2025-2026, and we'll be bringing you a comprehensive coverage in our subsequent bulletin, all you need to know about matters finance. Anyway, so let's take a look at some of